Everyone wants success, but few are willing to do what success truly demands: diligence. We live in a world that celebrates speed, shortcuts, and overnight fame. But what if the real secret power wasn't in rushing, but in refining? What if the true key to wealth and influence isn't who you know, but what you've mastered? The truth is, the world doesn't reward wishful thinkers. It rewards masters. People who do their work with excellence become magnets for opportunity, respect, and prosperity. Because when you become truly exceptional at what you do, you don't chase success. Success comes looking for you. It says, "Do you see a man diligent in his work? He will stand before kings." That's not just poetic, it's a principle. Diligence is more than hard work. It's consistent effort mixed with purpose, passion, and precision. In a world full of distraction and mediocrity, those who build mastery rise above the noise. They become indispensable. Yet many people today struggle with inconsistency, impatience, and lack of focus. They switch lanes too often, chase trends, and lose depth. The result? They remain unseen and undervalued. But when you choose diligence, when you give yourself completely to your craft, something extraordinary happens. You begin to stand out without even trying. We live in an age obsessed with quick results. Everyone wants the outcome, but few want the process. People want wealth, but hate repetition. They crave recognition, but reject routine. This is the first barrier to mastery: the unwillingness to endure the boring, consistent grind that greatness requires. Think about it. No athlete wins by practicing only when inspired. No artist becomes legendary by painting once a month. The same is true for your work, your business, your calling. Without consistency, talent decays. Without discipline, potential dies young. The modern obsession with instant gratification is the enemy of mastery. The greatest mistake you can make is to abandon your process too early, right before it compounds. Diligence is not glamorous. It rarely trends, but it's the foundation of every extraordinary story. Diligence means showing up when it's hard, repeating when it's dull, and improving when no one claps. It's persistence powered by purpose. Look at any master, whether in business, art, or science, and you'll find not luck, but diligence. It's what transforms practice into precision, skill into reputation, and effort into excellence. The diligent don't need to announce their worth. Their work does the talking. Over time, excellence markets itself. Opportunities start to chase them instead of the other way around. Warren Buffett didn't become one of the richest men in history by chasing hype or trends. His story is a master class in diligence and patience. Buffett began investing at age 11, and 99% of his wealth came after he turned 60. He studied daily, read hundreds of pages, and refined his craft quietly for decades. While others jumped from idea to idea, Buffett stayed consistent with one philosophy: understand value deeply, buy carefully, and hold patiently. That's Mastery, doing simple things extraordinarily well for an extraordinary length of time. His diligence didn't just make him wealthy, it made him wise. That's what happens when you dedicate your life to mastery. Your results grow, but so does your character. Steve Jobs was obsessed with detail. Fonts, curves, color, feel. Many people thought he was difficult to work with, but that obsession for perfection birthed Apple, one of the world's most valuable companies. Jobs' diligence wasn't about working harder than everyone, it was about caring more than everyone. He believed design wasn't just how something looked, but how it worked. That mindset turned ordinary devices into cultural icons. The lesson: passion fuels diligence, and diligence breeds distinction. Jobs didn't seek to compete, he sought to create. Masters don't compare, they craft. When you pour yourself into excellence, people don't just buy your product, they buy your belief. Serena Williams wasn't just talented, she was consistent. For over 2 decades, she dominated a sport that constantly evolves. Her secret wasn't just raw skill, it was relentless discipline. She practiced when she was tired, focused when distracted, and improved even after victories. That's what diligence looks like. Passion gets you started, discipline keeps you going. Serena's story reminds us that consistency turns gifts into greatness. And when you operate at that level of excellence, the world can't help but notice. The wealthy, the powerful, the influential, they all seek value. And value lives where mastery resides. People don't pay for effort, they pay for value. Diligence increases value because it refines skill. And refined skill is rare, which means it's valuable. When you become excellent at what you do, the world starts finding you. Kings, leaders, CEOs, and influencers seek those who deliver results with precision and reliability. You don't need to beg for opportunities when your work speaks for you. Excellence is its own marketing. Mastery doesn't chase, it attracts. And that's why the diligent eventually stand before kings. They don't promote themselves, they perfect themselves. Diligence is the bridge between ordinary and extraordinary. A teacher who refines her craft changes generations. A craftsman who perfects his work builds a reputation that outlives him. A musician who keeps improving eventually shapes culture. The truth is, mastery multiplies influence. It's not just about money, it's about legacy. The diligent don't just earn more, they become more. They become dependable, respected, and unstoppable. Their passion elevates everything they touch. And in a noisy world, that kind of consistency is magnetic. Diligence without passion becomes dry routine. Passion without diligence becomes wasted potential. But when both meet, when you love what you do and work at it daily, you enter the zone of greatness. Passion gives energy. Diligence gives direction. Together, they turn effort into excellence. The difference between the average and the extraordinary isn't luck. It's sustained passion expressed through disciplined work. When you commit to loving your craft and giving it your all, your output begins to speak with authority.
Mastery takes time. That's why few ever achieve it. But that's also why it's so rewarding. While others quit after a few failures, the diligent person stays. They learn, adjust, and refine, and because they stay, they grow. The longer you walk the path, the more compound growth you experience in skill, in relationships, and in opportunities. You don't rise overnight, you rise through nights. Every small, faithful step builds invisible momentum that eventually becomes visible success. When you abandon diligence, you forfeit greatness. Laziness, distraction, and inconsistency steal potential silently. Many people have talent but never rise because they refuse the process. Without mastery, you stay replaceable. Without diligence, your name fades fast. The world doesn't remember who started, it remembers who stayed. The painful truth is that shortcuts often lead to dead ends. If you want influence that lasts, you must build depth that endures.
At a certain point, mastery shifts everything. You stop chasing recognition. Recognition chases you. Opportunities appear. People seek your wisdom. Even the wealthy and powerful want what you've built, because mastery commands respect across every level. Think of Warren Buffett's phone ringing from global CEOs. Think of Jobs' influence across industries. Think of Serena inspiring millions. That's what happens when you honor your gift with diligence. Your work becomes your voice, and your excellence opens doors no resume ever could. Diligence creates something bigger than wealth. It creates legacy. The work of a master lives beyond them. Their impact ripples across time. The diligent person becomes a pillar in their field, someone whose name symbolizes quality, trust, and greatness. And even if they're not rich in money, they're rich in meaning. True prosperity is not just about what you have, but who you've become in the process of earning it. So if you feel unseen or undervalued, don't give up. Dig deeper. Refine your skill until it's undeniable. Show up when it's hard. Work when no one's watching. Passion and diligence will do for you what shortcuts never can. They'll place you before kings. Remember, the goal isn't to be noticed. The goal is to become so valuable that you can't be ignored. Build mastery. Stay diligent, because one day your work will open doors that hustle alone never could.